So a Europe versus Asia clash here. Ruwen FILUS to serve. Wow! Thought for a second that block was coming on. Strong start from the silent assassin, and he's a massive confidence player, FILUS. When he's confident, he can beat the majority of players. And arguably the most powerful player we've seen in this modern era of table tennis, Fan Shendong. FILUS has taken to 6 games before. But it's the versatility of the silent assassin, especially with the Chiquita flick, his standout shot. It'd be interesting how he can Chiquita the silent assassin against the backhand serves of Ruwen FILUS. First point on the board for the German defender. Defensive wall, Ruwen FILUS. Look at that for a forehand counter. Perhaps Ruwen FILUS is slightly more familiar as well now with the silent assassin, as Lin昀儒has moved to Europe to play the leagues for TTC Neu-Ulm. So Lin昀儒is playing in the same team now in the leagues with Tomokazu Harimoto, Dmitry Ovcharov and Charles Moragard, but it's those 3 young players that are in that team. You know, it'll be interesting to see how that affects the rivalry between them all when they play each other. Lobs up into the sky. It's coming back every single time. Finally, Lin昀儒puts away FILUS there. Really hard to get over the top of those fissures. Well, more of a lob, those. When it's high, deep, tricky to smash. Did well there to stay composed, the silent assassin. Goodness me. Wow, these rallies are brilliant. And I'll tell you what, to say that there's not a full hall full of Kazakhstan fans, they've made some great noise this tournament. The excitement doesn't get much better in table tennis than when you're seeing a defender versus an attacker of these levels clash. Right smile on the face of Lin昀儒there. That's a dribbling net cord. They're all level. No way. Oh, nearly comes down. Don't want these alleys to end when they're blossoming from the intricacy of the touch to the aggressive attacks. Different test for Lin昀儒here, playing the chopper. That is incredible. Spreading the attacks around. I thought I saw a thumbs up then from Lin昀儒. Couldn't tell there, but I'd have to look back at that to see if he did. That'd be interesting. His attacks are incredible. I want to see what the racket is of FILUS there. So, I mean, the defensive players will often use a defensive minus or a defensive plus blade. Won't have any carbon in it, but yet the attacks are so powerful on the forehand. You question it. He's treating backspin like it's nothing. Look at the power he's generated. I mean, that is all about timing there. Impeccable. How are you playing that powerful attack against that heavy of a backspin ball? Well, Filus is a very clever tactical player, and he knows the strength is the flick of Lin-Wen-Ru. So he's trying to limit that with some awkward kind of balls. What a serve that was. That is so clever. It looked like he was going to play a hook serve, and he goes long and fast. Thought we were going to see a double-handed backhand there from Filus, Hugo Calderano style. But he didn't play it. .10-7 to the Silent Assassin in this Open. I mean, already you could have a highlight reel just for this game alone. And he does it. Less topspinny ball into the middle there. Good placement. And a good start from both players there. The coachless Filus will be happy with the way he played. So, I mean, both have very physically draining games. So they're both going to tire, I'd say, at a similar rate if this one goes the distance. True student of the game, the Silent Assassin. He's a very studious person in all forms, really. You could imagine him in the library at school, couldn't you? Just doing his work, keeping himself to himself. But he's, yeah, a player that will learn from his mistakes. So losing to Filus previously, I don't see Filus having the advantage despite of that. I still feel like, despite having a losing record to Filus, the Silent Assassin still strong favourite.
Second game, 10-12, Lavo.
Flick is incredible. You can see Filus gesturing there. Because he plays through the fingers so well, Lin-Wen-Ru, he can produce the highest quality of flicks on the backhand side. The grip is really important. You see some professional players, they'll grip the bat in a way. I remember a player from Sweden called Per Garell. If you put the finger too high, the finger next to your thumb limits your backhand. Work to rev up the back of the ball to counteract all that backspin. He's a player that definitely obviously has physically developed, Lin-Wen-Ru. He's a bigger lad now than what he was when he was 14, 15 coming through, but still he's not someone you would think is a built player like Andrej Gacina of Croatia. But yet his power is just so impressive, and that comes from the timing and technique. I mean, look at Wang Chuqin, another left-handed top Asian young player. The best, in my opinion, Wang Chuqin. The timing. Wow. Spreading it around like butter on toast. I love Filus's style, though, the way that he'll face the first topspin ball and he'll just feel the ball on slowly, but in a decent position, and then you know the rally's going to begin properly. He might just clip the edge faintly there. Filus stepped the corner, but let's have a look. Yeah, I don't know, it looked like the trajectory was changed. I think it did slightly touch the edge. No luck that time for Lin Ru. Filus fighting still. An attack can come out of just a split second. This modern hybrid defensive player. Nice. Defence is less common in men's than it is in women's, that's for sure, especially in terms of representation in the top 100 in the world. Last ever defensive World Championship finalist was Jussi Hyuk. Reached the final in 2003 and he lost to Werner Schlager in the final of Austria. Last ever European to win a World Championship, Werner Schlager. But the way that Lin Ru dismissed Liang Yanning yesterday, the man new on the scene from China, insane. In fact, he had a 10-0 lead in the last game, and I couldn't tell. I was trying to work out whether Lin Ru gave Liang Yanning the point on purpose. I bet it's something that he wouldn't admit if he did. The way he reacted was kind of like he tried to win it, but very rare occasion yesterday in the semi-final to see a Chinese player on the cusp of getting zeroed. That's just unplayable. It's a combination. He's serving with a plan. The man from the beautiful island. He's recently turned 21 years of age, the world number 7. The thing as well that I've been thinking about this tournament watching Lin Ru is the way he's responded after the Olympic Games. He had bronze medal points at the Olympics against Dima Ovtcharov that he didn't take. But I think he's a player who is just so philosophical for his age. And he knows that he's got good things to come, he just has to stay faithful. And he's doing it. Not a show to be heard so far from a silent assassin, although you do sometimes hear him say a little show. He's not 100% silent. What was that there? Filus is saying that he can't read the serve. Perhaps he's complaining that maybe on borderline foul. It looked okay to me. Goes for the big finisher. Filus survives. Whoa, the table was open, but he couldn't get through the door there, Lin Ru. Such brave play from Filus. Wore his heart on his sleeve. Back against the wall. All cards on the table with that backhand. Had to be of good quality to put pressure on Lin Ru, otherwise he would have just casually blocked it cross court. And a timeout. Well, you wouldn't have thought Filus was going to force a timeout in this game. In the match, yes. Possibly and probably, but this particular game slash set, whatever you think of it as, Filus has done remarkably well here to make this so tight. And then Lin Ru might live to regret that big finisher he went for at 10-7 rather than playing the point a little bit more sensibly. If FILUS can level and take this game.
Time.
He's beaten Lin Wei, the young Chinese talent. He's beaten Hiroto Shinazuka, 17-year-old from Japan, the left-handed Asian prodigy. And can he do it here? Oh! FILUS with that feeling on the serve. Wide forehand, the silent assassin can't make the Chiquita from that wide of a position, and he's levelled it. This rhythm-breaking chopper. A chole from the not-so-silent assassin right now. That was a huge point. Oh, it top edges the backhand. He gets over the line in the end, and that will be a tough pill to swallow for FILUS, having fought back unbelievably well. He just can't quite do it. Lin will be relieved, but will also be quite frustrated with himself that he couldn't make that a little bit easier, given the situation of having such a demanding lead in that second game throughout its entirety, apart from the end. 11-7, 12-10 so far. Lin halfway there in games. FILUS yet to get over the mark, but an improved scoreline there for the German defender. "34 years of age, FILUS. Currently world ranked number 32. He's had a 67% win-to-loss percentage this year.
Time.
Because all the tournaments, well, the big tournaments, such as the champions, we saw the inaugural champions of the European Summer Series and the Cup finals, because they're all straight knockouts, you really do have to be incredible. Once you reach the top level, it's very hard to maintain it. That is a counter of dreams. Making a table tennis fan's imagination reality. Ruwen FILUS with shots like that. And then he misses the serve. I mean, that's almost comedic. Having played a forehand like that and then missing the serve, it's like hot and cold like a tap. It's better to laugh than cry. He won't dwell on that Ruwen FILUS, or at least he shouldn't. You'd rather miss it at that score than at 9-all in the decider, wouldn't you? So, got to look at the positives in there. Speaking of forehand counters, I mean, look at that. Player with no obvious weakness, the silent assassin. Oh, so fluid, but look at the angle. FILUS just watched it like he was at the cinema. How can you not admire that shot? In my opinion, the two most complete players under the age of 24 are Wang Chuqin and this man, this young man here, Lin. And obviously, in terms of young prospects. You've got the Lebrun brothers bursting onto the scene, European hopes. You've got Truls Moregard, one of the most entertaining players in the game, who is just playing incredibly well at the moment, reaching the final of the World Champs. He's done something that even the likes of Wang Chuqin and Lin haven't.
One, 4.
Surviving and thriving, Ruwen FILUS under this situation, but an almost unimaginable task in hand. It's the way he's driving through the backspin, Lin. I mean, I know that the ball's changed in recent history from celluloid to plastic, making it a little bit easier to drive through the backspin, but it's just still insane watching Lin power through these chops like that. So low, but he manages to lift it once more, chipping away at the defence. Half long, everything is just designed to cause commotion, whether it's a topspin or a touch. Showing again, Lin. Ooh.
3, 6.
Just clips in it on that final forehand. He needs a bit of fortune. There's just something in the air, I don't know what it is, I can just feel a massive rally coming. FILUS once again is just showing that he's a man with a lot of grit. He likes to dig deep, Ruwen FILUS. He's got good fire in his belly. Just manoeuvring him around though so well. From middle to wide backhand. I've seen videos of Ruwen FILUS training with Dima Ocharov, and I tell you what, I mean, I've seen balls where it's literally like 30, 40 chops in a row. It doesn't miss really unless you force it, and it's so hard to against that backspin, and he's aggressive with the pimples on the receive as well.
4, 8.
Comes through it quite quick. It's quite awkward if you've ever played against a player of FILUS's kind of style. It's quite difficult sometimes because you can play a fast kind of receive with the pimples. FILUS, one of, if not the best defender in the world right now. Don't see any other in finals like this.
5.
In the men's game, anyway. Who's your favourite chopper of all time? For you fans watching at home. Seen some legendary choppers like Marta, Choo Se-hyuk.
9, 5.
Some of you might have ever, if you ever get a chance to go on YouTube and watch Hu Ying-chao. He's in his 40s and he won the Chinese national championships. That's so good against the momentum of林昀儒. Comes running in, and there's a signature. Twiddle, topspin. Oh, that's so nice there. Fooling FILUS that time on the forehand down the line. Well, if you want to learn how to play defence, look nowhere else right now, because as good as FILUS is playing, the silent assassin looking to clean sweep him in this final. He did it in Zagreb, clean sweep Zhang Peng. Up against a completely different style here, but the versatility of林昀儒unfazed against almost everyone he plays. I know a lot of fans before this match were thinking林昀儒was going to have little to no issues here. And you'd be right if you thought that so far. FILUS won their last and only encounter 3-0 last season as well. It wasn't even though林昀儒was up and coming. It was last season. And FILUS beat him at the Star Contender Doha, one of the first ones. As well as Zhang Wuqin there with the two notable wins. Beating some of the world's best FILUS. Hugo Calderano, Tomokazu Harimoto, Zhang Wuqin, Chuang Chuan, Darko Jorgic. He's beaten so many top players. But this is a top player of a different level. Call him the assassin because it's just the cold way he can put away his opponents. It's crazy. Wow. Look at this shot. Straight up the line. Look at this. Wow. That's beautiful. Poetry in motion there. There's a little fly on the table or something. A nice human moment between these two. 2-1. And then FILUS immediately after it getting angry. I've seen FILUS a lot angrier than this. I think the fact that he's not so angry just epitomises how good he knows his opponent is just so good. You can't be too angry when you're up against a player of this nature. You hear that, show? Might have to rename the Not So Silent Assassin. Oh, dribbling there off a high chop. You don't see that so often.林昀儒still nearly reacts and gets it over. How's he got those balls back? Is it coming back? He's down. These are like shooting sky lobs. Oh, and does that clip the net on the last ball? Goodness me, that Lin Rou's not dislocating his shoulder. If you wanted to have an exhibition held at your club, you'd hire Ruwen FILUS. Forehand shot block. Saw it in the men's doubles yesterday as well, the feeling of the silent assassin. Look at that there off the net. It's crazy. Done it a few times and it has surprised the German, but that one doesn't. Beautiful point. He's done it. That one there slightly floaty. Look at this motion there. Leaning back. An aftershock twiddle. May have distracted the silent assassin slightly there. Spreading it around really nicely from forehand to backhand, getting the widths well. The compound movements of Lin Rou's footwork is just phenomenal. So he's in the right position. It's just so hard to hit a winner past him. Because he keeps his bat high above the table. It's like a plane, horizontal plane. And that's what you need for consistency. You can't drop your bat too much because then your only option is to play up the back of the ball. So you've got to keep your bat high. See some players in the men's game doing that to an almost extreme level. Kanak Jar and Omar Assar, as well as Timur Bol, they hold their bat really high above the table. When you think of them, they're all very consistent blockers. It's a good quality to have. He's in front, I can't believe it. Well, I can believe it because it's FILUS's nature to fight till the end, but he's back in it. Let's see. Wow. Rally of the match, and it goes to Ruwen FILUS. How is he returning these balls? Blistering pace coming in from Lin Rou's forehands. But the German wall, so hard to break down. These are the rallies all the fans in the world of table tennis were wanting. You almost knew you'd get them. Sometimes you see this. I mean, the hardest game to win is the last, the hardest point to win is the last. And now FILUS' back is against the wall as much as it can be, maybe. That's what he needed to really fire back. And he's got 4 game points. He's on a kill streak right now. The coachless Ruwen FILUS. really would be interesting to see another game. From a neutral standpoint, I'd love to see another game. And we're going to see one. Ruwen FILUS can be chuffed that he's at least won one, and he's found his feet here in the final slightly more. Is this the beginning of an ascent of what would be a mountainous comeback? I mean, we've seen comebacks in table tennis history, many against the Dark Knight, actually. But that's the topic of another discussion. We can have it another time. What do you think is the biggest comeback you've ever seen? I think Timo Boll against the Dark Knight. I think Michael Mays against Hao Shui. Tomokazu Haramoto, the recent champions against the Dark Knight. One of the most impressive as well, because it was in a final. This would be one of the biggest comebacks I've ever seen. But I'm speaking very hypothetically here, because the Silent Assassin, we know his studiousness and how quick he learns and how willing he is to change something if it's broken, if it's not working. He's not a stubborn player, Ruwen FILUS or the Silent Assassin. And I feel like now we're going to see a whole new level of Lin Ru. I'm gonna put my head on the chopping block and say I feel as though Lin Ru will win this match 4-1. We'll see if FILUS can prove me wrong and prove the whole world of table tennis wrong in coming back here.
Love one.
He's in the lead here, slow spin. Silent Assassin serves are drifting slightly too long. I mean, that is still a great serve. But FILUS is able to realise it's drifting just long enough to be able to spin up the back of that ball. Great receive. Perhaps a few nerves of Lin Ru. He's moving a little bit more gingerly. Took that 4-1 slightly too late. The belief's there. And it's changing so quickly, this match. What a block. 1-5. See how fast the twiddle came there. To understand your own game to that level, you don't even have to think, it's just natural instinct. That's what it's all about. You don't want to be thinking about it too much when you're competing. You train hundreds of hours so that you don't have to think too much in a match. You feel like FILUS' best chance is going to come if Lin Ru gets nervous. So Lin Ru needs to relax if he's to win this match. FILUS can make you nervous because the variation coming in is so much. It's really, really intimidating.
Leg 5.
A lot of defenders, you just feel like when you come up against, you can just come through. But not FILUS. Seriously impressive here from the German. Jörg Rotzkopf, the German head coach. I'm sure he'll be tuning into this live. And I'll be delighted here in how the German defenders play him. It's mad because Germany won the European Team Championships without even playing their A team. Shows how good they are, but I mean they've got national centres all over the country geographically, like Dusseldorf, Saarbrücken, Oschenhausen. Let's put it away. Lin spots the ball that's floaty enough and high enough that he can just come through with a slap rather than have to loop it. And now Lin making a comeback of his own. Wow! You do really think why has he chosen to be a defender when he can play backhands like this? But it's the yin and yang philosophy. The backhand wouldn't be as surprising if he didn't chop. So there you have it. Well, Lin had a glimmer in his eye, really, that he thought he could probably get through this 4-0 at 3-0. But that's changed now. Realise this is not going to be a piece of cake. He's been less aggressive with the counters now, FILUS. He's wanting to get into the longer exchanges. His percentages drop dramatically if he's trying to win the point quickly. As good as he is with the attacks, FILUS, he's got a better chance if he can just outlast Lin. Fine line between aggression and sensibility. But he's in front once more. Matching Lin in the counter-to-counter as a defender. Come on, seriously. Did say, didn't we? We do know that Lin lost in the 2019 World Championships to a chopper, Gionis Panagiotis from Greece. Can lose to defenders, Lin. He is human, believe it or not. It's a game of cat and mouse right now. Just clips the net. Apology straight away from FILUS. Well, that loop had less topspin than FILUS thought, and he tried to feel the ball on with the forehand. He's not a forehand chopper, FILUS. He's not an out-and-out defender. On the forehand, he'll just fish, lob, counter, or come in. Not an out-and-out defender. like a sort of Koji Matsushima.
Leg 9 all.
Matsushita, should I say. He's a legendary Japanese international table tennis player. Whoa, raw power, and he roars into a 10-9 lead. Game point to Ruwen FILUS. I thought this was going to be a 4-1. Is he about to prove me wrong here? He is! The juxtaposition of a slight apology and then a fist pump. Ruwen FILUS is still here in Almaty, fighting for the title. Could he do it? Lin has to be nervous now. Coachless in the corner. The German Ruwen FILUS has won 2 games in a row. If you're just joining us, Lin won the first 3. Looked like he was going to sweep, just like he did in the Zagreb final against Champong, 4 straight. FILUS fighting so well. He's a player, Ruwen FILUS, that will be missed when he retires because he brings a very good spirit to the table. Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord. I must say, I've just tuned into the chat. Great to see so many viewers here. We're at 11,600 here on the live stream. And I've just seen someone comment on FILUS the Salamander. Quite like that, actually, how he changes his colours and adapts to the environment. That's quite a good nickname. You get a thumbs up from me. He just changed it to a little block there. Clever play, sensible. Said to Lin, look, I want you to come over the top of this ball and attack. I'm going to slow it down. You've got to do all the work. Worked well, that little change of pace there. There's going to be some fans that tuned out of this live stream at 3-0, thinking, oh, Lin just going to run away with it. And they'll be tuning back in now, going, oh my goodness, FILUS. Top edges, and that's one of the loudest choles I've ever heard from the Silent Assassin. Or the not so silent assassin. It's hard to imagine a new nickname for Lin after that. 4-2 in the lead now, doing well. What did we say at the start of this match? We said, well, the strength of林昀儒is the backhand Chiquita and the flick. Can get on the front foot straight away. Filus's backhand serves are limiting that ability. What a counter. Look at the motion of it. I mean, I know he got the net, but still, they had a lot of work to do there. Comes across the body with it. Like a seatbelt. Great forehand fade. What a fascinating match this has turned out to be. Look at the side spin. What? That is a joke. Was there a missed contact on the forehand? I don't want to take anything away from this if it wasn't. He apologised, it hit the top edge of his racket and just flew down the line. It is ridiculous. Could it be? Could it be? He's frozen,林昀儒. He's in the trenches with Ruwen FILUS here. They're both going to have to dig deep now. This is the true definition of a match. Is林昀儒getting flashbacks back to the 2019 Worlds against defence? Oh, wow. The extension, realisation they can get in that backhand, the twiddle, and then, I mean, that is just incredible. It's a backhand that Fan Shendong would have been proud of. The motion of it, the follow-through, it's more of a tennis backhand. It's just butchered with backspin. And a shot that林昀儒was making, he isn't now. Perhaps the exhaustion of having to lift it over and over again. And the mental fatigue coming in. FILUS is on fire right now. Well, I'll tell you what, if you're a betting man and you would have bet FILUS to come back in this match, you would have made a small fortune. And he's done it. We're going to a 7th deciding game here. This could be one of the most viral comebacks in modern table tennis history. Tell your friends to tune in right now. Goosebumps, absolute goosebumps right now. Lin Ru's face is a picture of concern. It's not often you see him shaken. He's a young man of complete and utter meditative thought. But FILUS has thrown a spanner in the works. Each point is going to be a war. He's embracing for impact. I just don't believe this. This honestly would blow the roof off world table tennis. Good placement into the body there from Lin Ru. Rotation and waist, transfer of weight coming through the left leg into the right leg. He's come all this way, the German. It's hard to say what would be more heartbreaking. FILUS coming back and not being able to win, or Lin Ru not being able to win from 3-0 up. Wow. Top edge. Possessed by ambition right now, Ruwen FILUS has levelled it at 2-all. FILUS beat Lin Ru in their last encounter last year at the Star Contender Doha. Could he do it again? Maybe he could. Maybe he could. I mean, if the rallies were a little bit longer and Lin Ru wasn't the quality of attacker that he is, we may have even seen the expedite rule come into play. Even if I had a favourite in this match, I obviously wouldn't say it, but my heart is honestly just split between these two men. He misreads the serve, that backhand awkward serve. Poised, and he plays it into the middle with float. The Silent Assassin hasn't been able to get his Chiquita flicks in. Remembering the time that Dima beat Lin Ru at the Star Contender, he was playing backhand simple serves to beat him. Just beautiful play. And he's back in the lead again. This is incredible. It's a net that doesn't help Lin-Ru. Balloons up and Filus puts it away. His 2 points. They're both going to be seeing their careers flash before their eyes here. The drama fitting of this final. I mean, I'm trying to think back to what match may have had more drama than this. Especially on the WTT Contender stage, I mean. The timing. Lin-Ru plays it too early, tries to snatch at it. The variation coming in. Mind-boggling. Lin-Ru, I mean, this is a match that he is gonna lose so much sleep over. If Filus gets over the line here. My heart is honestly just racing. There's a reason why I'm in the commentary box and not competing. My heart just can't take this. Two points away, Ruwen FILUS from ultimate glory. Lin-Ru 2 away from levelling. Oh my Lord. I can't believe it. I'm not often lost for words when it comes to table tennis, you know. Like this. I can't believe what we have just seen. That is mesmerizing. This mind-boggling defender, rhythm-breaking defensive masterclass. Ruwen FILUS, look at the emotion. I have not seen a comeback like that in a final against a player like Lin-Ru. I mean, this is a match that is going to be so referenced, so talked about. The performance of his career. He beats Lin-Ru for the second time. I mean, look at Lin-Ru's face.